Hey guys, it's Mr. Begam. Today we're going to look at percent of change. There are two types of percent of change. One could be a percent increase, one could be a percent decrease. So something's going up, that's going to be an increase. Down, that would be a decrease. Example of a percent increase is a markup of an item. And if you're a person that's selling something, maybe you buy a certain item from a manufacturer. You buy it at a lower price. You then sell it to somebody else at a higher price. That's where you're going to make your profit. That would be marking something up, and that would be an example of a percent increase. Decrease would be like when you go to a store and they have something on sale. So you see, that $40 shirt and it's on sale for 25% off. That would be a percent decrease. All right, the formula or equation that we're going to use for percent of change, and I'm going to abbreviate percent of change with the POC, is the amount of change in the numerator over the original amount. So whatever the two prices are, the two amounts are, you're going to subtract them to get the numerator, the amount of change. And then in the denominator is always going to be the original amount, what it started with. All right, let's take a look at one. A baseball cap normally sells for $24 and is on sale for $18. Find the percent of change. So I know right away if it was $24 and it's going down to $18, it's going to be a percent decrease. So percent of change I'm acting crazy is going to be the amount of change in the numerator. So it goes from 24 to 18. 24 minus 18 is 6. So that's my change. The original amount, well, it normally sells for 24. Then later it was on sale for 18. So 24 is my original amount. All right, this is percent of change. So I'm looking for a percent answer. So right now it's in fraction form. I need to change this to a percent. We've talked about many ways to do that. One of the easiest ways, and you're going to have a calculator for this, is to simply divide. 6 divided by 24. On your calculator, you'll get a decimal, 0.25. Change that to a percent. We can multiply that by 100. We can move the decimal point over two places. Once again, we're talking about different ways to do that. Turns out to be 25%. And we want to make sure that we put at the end whether it was an increase or decrease, and we said earlier decrease. So 25% decrease. And backing up. Alright, so percent of change. Amount of change in the numerator, original amount in the denominator. Alright, let's take a look at another one. Mr. Regan buys boxes of pencils from the pencil company for $5 per box and sells them to teachers for $7 per box. Find the percent of change. So if I'm buying them for $5 and then later selling them for $7, it's increasing. So I know this is going to be a percent of increase. This would be an example of a markup. So percent of change. And I know I don't let you abbreviate a lot of times, but this is a place where abbreviating is fine. My numerator is the amount that it changes. So it went from 5 to 7. So it changed 7 minus 5, 2. $2 change. You don't need to put the dollar symbol in here. Alright. Then the original amount. Well, the original amount is what it started with. What happened first? Well, first I bought them for $5 per box. So 5 is my original amount. 2 over 5 would be 0.4, which is 40%. And we said earlier it went from 5 up to 7, so a 40% increase. And that's how people and companies make money. They purchase something for a low price or manufacture it for a low price and then sell it for a higher price. That would be a percent of change being a percent increase. Alright, why don't you try this one? Mr. Regan bought a graphing calculator on sale for $100 The graphing calculator originally cost $130. Find the percent of change. So pause the video at this point. Give yourself some time to try this out. Restart the video and see if we end up with the same answer. Alright, so percent of change. I know that if it was originally $130 and I bought it for $100, then that's a decrease. It went down. So this is going to be a decrease problem. So numerator, the amount it changed. It went from 130 down to 100. Subtract them. It changed by 30. My original amount, it was 130 because that's what it cost first. And then it went on sale. 30 divided by 130. Alright, well, here I can see I'm not going to get a nice answer here. When I divide those, it's going to end up being a non-terminating decimal, and that's okay. We're going to say, for right now, the rule is we're going to round to the nearest whole number, percent. So I'm going to do a little work over here. If I reduce 30 over 130, it will be 3 over 13. 13 goes into 30 twice. Add a 0, bring that down. 13 goes into 43 times. And I can see that I could stop there. It's going to end up being 0.23 when I round to the 100th place, which is going to be 23%. Keeping in mind, I'm rounding to the nearest whole percent. And we said it was 130. It went down to 100, so that's going to be a decrease. And that's what sales are. When you go to a store and something's on sale, that's a percent decrease. Alright, that's percent of change. We have 2% of changes. We have a percent increase. We have a percent decrease. Our formula is the same either way. The amount that it changes in the numerator, and you get that by subtracting the two amounts, and then the original amount, where it was first in the denominator. Okay? Alright, good luck, guys.